Now, the latter half of 2023 has seen the trend of cannabis multi-state operators exiting established legalized states, and we see that continue. A lack of genuine connections with and the inability to earn respect from local consumers led to lackluster sales against home teams of smaller, more nimble operators and neighborhood trappers, with the victors laughing them out of each region one by one. But will it be the MSOs that end up getting the last laugh? After years of rapid expansion, some of America's largest MSOs have continued to streamline operations this year. MJ Biz Daily reported that the two of the biggest, Florida-based Trulieve and Chicago-based Cresco Labs, exited state legal cannabis markets in the past 5 months, reflecting ongoing efforts to strengthen balance sheets as the industry awaits widely anticipated federal reform and improved investor sentiment. Pressured by tough macroeconomic environment and the slow pace of federal cannabis reform, MSOs began aiming to quote unquote optimize operations in more lucrative markets. Cresco Labs has retail operations in 7 states, yet exited Arizona and Maryland in recent months. The result: 191 million in revenue in third quarter and offsetting divestments, according to the company's latest earnings results. Cresco CEO Charlie Bachtell says it's all part of the company's quote unquote year of the core mandate. Our third quarter results demonstrate our ability to drive solid performance with strong gains to our margin and operating cash flow by continuing to execute on a strategy where we win our core markets and with our core strategies, core brands, and core products. Core. Trulieve sold off its 3 remaining California locations this year and abandoned Massachusetts in the aftermath of Lorna McMurray's death in its Holyoke plant, what some are calling the industry's first recorded death due to cannabis. CEO Kim Rivers said during Trulieve's third quarter earnings call that by taking proactive steps to strengthen our balance sheet, streamlining operations, and reducing inventory, we will exit 2023 as a leaner organization with strong cash generation and a clearly defined strategy. Trulieve is best positioned for the coming wave of meaningful growth catalysts. Bechtel and Rivers share a strategic agenda based on 2 upcoming events they believe will cause a seismic shift in the American cannabis industry, permanently tilting fortunes in their favor. The U.S. government rescheduling cannabis and the much anticipated passage of the Safer Banking Act. The communal sentiment is that both catalysts will spur more investor interest in the industry, which will benefit everyone because trickle down economics work. While we've yet to see actual rescheduling occur, or the safer, or soon to be released safest banking acts passing either, the mass MSO exodus from established markets is an interesting game to watch play out. With local and regional operators claiming legislatively embattled yet established territories and MSOs who've learned from mistakes made in their quote unquote test markets, now controlling the social narratives and literally writing laws in their favor for emerging southern and midwestern markets, free of pre-existing organized legacy competition. One can't help but wonder what a truly divided industry will look like 2 to 3 years from now once both catalysts are finalized. I know, being Rico Lamite, the dopest dad on the street for High 9 News, I'll continue to be following the Money Report on the news as it plays out, but I'm interested in y'all's take. Will MSOs exiting established markets lead to ultimate victory and the fulfillment of the promised sustainable economic prophecies written into their corporate scriptures? Or will the operators left behind figure it out, grow, and thrive in their absence? What do you think, Jason?
I
Tale of
mean,
Two Industries has begun.
oh, jeez, here we go. Here we go. So here's the question. I think the biggest answer to this is if they exit, who is going to fill the gap?
Well,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody's
We
going
got
to be there to pick up the slack to sell booth legal weed to people.
You know who that's going to be, right, Nicole? That's going to be the
Who's it
pharmaceutical
going to be?
industry. The pharmaceutical industry, as soon as they move it to Schedule 3.
ooh, interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
you
point.
don't think the local small and regional operators, you don't think they're going to figure out, and you don't think they'll thrive? You think they're just going to
Nope.
get
I don't think they
that
have a
vacuum
chance. I think they're going to
by
get their lunch
others?
served to them on a
If we
paper
don't
plate.
pass safe banking, these small businesses are not going to survive.
Facts.
Like
What makes you
this is a this is this is a turning point at this point. Like 3 years into trying to debate, go back and forth, lobbying, people trying to put their money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Like the smaller businesses are the ones that are suffering. The bigger ones don't care. They're not the ones lobbying on Capitol Hill to pass safe banking. They could care less. They'll just watch the industry implode on itself, and
Yep.
they'll snatch up the smaller operators because they have the long money. They can wait. They can wait it out.
Yep. It'll be
But
like
the smaller operators don't.
it'll be like a receivership sale, and they're just going to come in and buy everybody for pennies on the dollar.
That's it.
Or
This is
not,
game
and
over
they're
already.
just going to let them all just fall by the wayside. I don't think it's like the pharmaceutical industry is going to be just like jumping in here either, just to sell mids. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no,
I think,
they're going to be jumping in for those
Companies gonna sell
cultivation.
isolates. They're going to sell
well,
Yeah.
Epidiolex and
I think these big companies like True Leaves and all these, they're actually in the right position because they have the infrastructure already built to meet the requirements probably set by the FDA to do the same thing, and they'll probably be able to turn back on these investments
Really,
when that time
Saman,
comes. But
with all that moldy product that they produce, you really think that they have the proper infrastructure in place to make pharmaceutical grade products?
it's not pharma grade product first and foremost. That's not what Schedule 3 means. It's got to meet a certain requirement set by the FDA. So
That's
that's
pharma grade to me. That's pharma grade.
That's
To
not
me, that
pharma
is.
grade. That's like Tyson chicken is not pharma. Okay, but they're surely selling chicken and chicken byproducts to 100% of Americans. So that's exactly what's going to happen. And these big companies have already made the investment.
Mhm.
They've already done the spending. And yeah, there's probably infrastructure they haven't bought yet that'll probably be conglomerized or just like kind of swooped in on, brought under their purview, under their umbrella, and they'll utilize it somehow. But I mean, this is just like, hey, we don't have the money to pay for this at this point, so we're going to stop. And when the laws change, they'll come right back in and they'll turn those operations back on, most likely.
Mm.
Speaking of booth,
That's my opinion. That's what
That's
I
your
first.
prediction.
I think it's showing how difficult it is to make money in this industry, right? If these big giants closing down, they're closing down because they're not making money.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with anything else other than we're not making money. We got to reevaluate our budget for next year. And, how can we make more money in the right places? That's why they're closing down, right?
And big pharma has the government in their pocket to where they can basically mandate certain types of enforcement on the trap market and basically consolidate all of these facilities and focus on single compound.
But do you think it's going to be big pharma or big tobacco that
big pharma
takes over?
Big pharma.
Big Pharmaco.
Yep, big pharma.
so I think I gotta hop in. My second cup is kicking in.
Oh boy,
So,
here we go, you
I don't
guys.
think tobacco jumps in until we are in a heat not burn scenario. They learned their lesson with tobacco, and they're really trying to become a smokeless product. That's the first thing.
But they've caused all this cancer. Now their campaign can be "We cure cancer."
That's
I'd like to
right.
add to that, Yarrow. I would like to add to that. They have not. They just brushed off the Juul loss like nothing. 42 million just gone, and they don't care. They're still moving forward.
Peanuts to them.
I'm not comfortable talking about my jewels on this episode, but we can definitely do a deeper dive.
I mean, you try to show them on every other
commit
episode.
to talk about it later.
You that when it comes to my vape check, I'm definitely a heat not burn kind of guy. And so I do want to just jump over onto this safe banking thing for a quick sec, right? Because I was the committee chair for the Diversity, Inclusion, and Social Equity Committee for NCIA on safe banking. And the first thing I did when I became appointed that chair was I renamed that committee because everybody has been clinging to safe banking like it is, like I'm Leo in Titanic and it's the life raft coming and I'm already blue in the lips, right? And the truth is we don't need safe banking in order to do some things on the executive side to reduce the number of suspicious activity reports and some of these other things that lead to the increased costs for cannabis banking. We don't need any legislation to do that. So everybody's like, safe. And I'm like, listen, there's a lot that can be done without waiting for Congress to do anything. And those things aren't being done. And the truth is this, right? And this has been a truth for years. Getting a cannabis bank account and having an intimate relationship with a financial institution, albeit plutonic intimacy, is not that difficult for a cannabis
Essentially.
business. What cannabis is suffering from is not the ability to put money in or to have payment processing. It's the ability to access SBA and SBL. And so until we can get low cost of capital loans like
You're
any
right.
other business, stop with this bullshit about being able to put your paper in the bank, because that is not the solve, nor is that the biggest pain point in the industry financially.
Pass
But
safe
Those are
banking
facts,
already.
Yarrow.
I
You're
can
you're right.
absolutely
You're right
Be,
right.
but
about
it's
It's
not
that.
just
anymore.
being
You
able to
can
use
you can
banking services. And that's what I mean. Yes,
see.
putting your money in the bank is one thing so that you don't have a cash stash in your place of business, being able to write checks to like pay your vendors. But yeah, it's also about being able to get loans and operating like any other business does, and the benefits that come from that. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Rico, it sounds like you've
Yarrow,
indoctrinated Yarrow a little bit on this issue.
Yarrow, you were speaking Jason Beck's love language. You
Ooh,
talked
that
to
hurts.
you
Ooh,
talked to
that's
DE nicer
that's a
to
hell of a way to start my day.
He loves
Oh boy.
I thought we weren't talking about your jewels.
Oh man. You know,
I mean,
told
let's
you, man,
not
them
use
jewels,
my
they
jewels,
belong.
Jason Beck, and love language in the same sentence, because I might get nauseous.
we're gonna keep this train rolling. We're gonna grow right into a commercial, and we're gonna be right back.